Welcome to the YNTAAY Minis. I'm Chris Smith. Happy November, y'all. Did you all see the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade this year? I did, and I loved it. But did you hear about the controversy involving the Prom, the new musical, which is currently playing on Broadway at the Longacre Theater? They performed a number called It's Time to Dance. And at the end of the number, there was a kiss between two of the characters. Now, the show is about these two girls who want to go to the prom together, and in Indiana, and the PTA doesn't want it to happen, so they shut down the prom. They cancel it. And this group of Broadway actors come to their town really to just get publicity for themselves, but in the guise of trying to help the situation and help this prom to happen. And it's a comedy, of course. It's gotten great reviews from many different critics. And so they're performing this number, and my thing was, this seems like the final number of the show, because they're at the prom, and then the two girls kiss, and they're all like, da, 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 dun, ba, da, da, dun, dun, it's time to dance. And it's a marvelous number, very celebratory. But I was like, you really want to do the end of the show on a broadcast? Here's some more pictures. I love this one. Look at the tennis shoes and the other girl in the more promy shoes. But so it stirred a little bit of controversy, because parents were like, conservative parents were like, my children have seen two girls kissing at 9:20 in the morning on Thanksgiving, and we didn't know. Yeah, you didn't know, but that's all over TV and in our schoolyards nowadays. But a lot of people were up in arms about it. And at first I was like, well, a morning parade isn't really the place for anybody to be kissing. But the more I thought about it, I said, well, it's wonderful to show inclusion to children and all people, and especially young gay children and LGBT children out there who have no representation in their lives, or now they're seeing more of it. But think of the children in the 80s. When I was growing up, there was no gay representation hardly on TV. The occasional killer or something on a crime show. Or, okay, I made some examples, and you're going to love this. Okay, when I was growing up, the gay characters you had on television were Jody Dallas, played by Billy Crystal, on Soap. Now, Jody had this boyfriend who was a football player, but they couldn't be together because of society, and the guy was a football player. He didn't want to ruin his career and all that. So Jody was going to have a sex change. Here he is dressing up in his mother's clothes. He was going to have a sex change just so they could be together. But Jody wasn't trans or anything. He just wanted to be with his boyfriend. Now, you also had things like Three's Company with Jack Tripper and Janet and Chrissy, where he had to pretend to be gay, but he wasn't, just so they could be roommates. They weren't even sexually involved, the three of them. That would have been a different show. But he had to pretend to be gay, and they always made a big joke of it. And he always was really prissy and Nelly and everything. Pardon me if those are bad words nowadays. I can't keep up. And look how uncomfortable he made Norman Fell as Mr. Roper. And also, what's funny is, look how uncomfortable Jody always made his stepfather, Bert. So it was always played for laughs. Then you had Stephen Carrington on Dynasty in the early 80s, first played by Al Corley and then Jack Coleman. Now, Stephen was gay, yet he always married women. Here he is with Sammy Jo. Here he is marrying Claudia. These romances didn't last. The only one that did last was with what was his name, Luke, and he got killed in the Moldavian massacre. The gays weren't allowed to live. Then you had things like, and these are all sporadic over years. Then you had an early Frost, the AIDS movie. So there's that whole thing. Then you had people like Liberace. We all love Liberace, but, and you didn't know for sure. Well, you did, but it wasn't discussed even. And the lesbians had it even worse. You had the occasional TV movie, or, like on All My Children, Donna Pascal played Dr. Lynn Carson. I think she was a psychiatrist maybe, and she was treating Devon, who's a girl. And Devon, for a little while, got confused and thought that she liked Dr. Lynn, who was a lesbian. And that character didn't last very long. And, of course, there was when Jean, Dorothy's friend on the Golden Girls, visited and fell in love with Rose. That's one of my favorite episodes. It's so beautiful. And that was pretty much it. So I'll bet if you were a child in that era, if you didn't see anything like two girls kissing on the prom, being performed on a parade, you thought you were the only one on the planet. So that's why I decided I don't care that they spoiled the ending of the show, The Prom, because it's nice to show representation and make some poor child in Indiana actually feel like they're not so all alone. So if you get a chance, and I can't wait to see The Prom when it comes, when it tours, but hopefully I'll get to Broadway before that. But the cast recording is coming out in mid-December 2018, depending when you're watching this. And I've already heard several of the songs. They're delightful. And it's from the people who brought us The Wedding Singer. It has music by Matthew Sklar. He did The Wedding Singer music. Lyrics by Chad Begellan. Forgive me if I mispronounce that. And he's also from The Wedding Singer. And a book is by Bob Martin, who did The Drowsy Chaperone, and of course Chad Begellan, who did The Wedding Singer, Aladdin, and Elf the Musical. And the musical, The Prom, has Brooks Ashmanskas, Beth Leavel, love her, Christopher Sieber, great cast, Caitlin Kinnunen, and Isabel McCalla, among many others. So, The Prom is playing on Broadway. Go check it out. And that's just where I stand on that topic. So, I say more kissing on parades. And you know who also liked it? Lonnie and Lila, the lesbian action figures that I have. So, just to cause more controversy, here's their kiss. Mwah. Anyway, check out The Prom and other great theater on the Broadway or in your neighborhood. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Oh.